Hey, good morning, everyone. Welcome back. Trading Futures Live. Hope everyone had a great weekend. Hope everyone's having a good Monday morning. It is August 29th, 2022. We are Trading Futures Live, where we trade futures live in front of the camera every single day. We show you our winners, we show you our losers. We try and be as transparent as possible. I already took a loss in the overnight. We'll go over that trade in a few. Very quickly, trading is inherently risky and can result in the loss of capital. So please do not take any of our trades or do not copy any of our trades. We're here for educational purposes only. And let's go ahead and get right into it. In the news today, we don't have really much of anything in the news for the U.S. session. We've got FOMC member Brainard speaking at 2:15 p.m., but no other economic news today. So could be a day that it just chops around, especially after such a pretty wide-ranging Friday. Although usually after a wide-ranging Friday, we do kind of have a pretty decent Monday. Recovering from that move last week, or continuing or following through with it. So. But with no news today, we'll see what happens. We do have the biggest news on the week is going to be non-farm payroll on Friday, and we have some other news throughout the week. ADP non-farm payroll on Wednesday, consumer confidence, and ISM manufacturing PMI. So a decent week of news as we look ahead. Just nothing really today. If we take a look at the markets before they open, we've got less than 2 minutes left in the pre-market. They're down. They're all down. We did gap down, and have really just been chopping around and below the gap down. We've got the Nasdaq down almost 1%, 3/4 for the S&P, and 2/3% for the Dow, essentially. And Dow futures slide 200 points, building on last week's sharp sell-off, and they're just really holding there. And let's go ahead and take a quick look, right? They all gap down. This is the four major indexes here to the left on the 30-minute chart. Friday's close here on the S&P. It did gap down, chopping around, gap down, chopping around. The dollar is lower than Friday's close right now. We've got Friday's close here, and it has pulled back. It did go up in the Asian session, but has since reversed in the London session and the European session. And so we're below Friday's close on the dollar. That is actually a little bullish for the market. So we'll see if we get a pop up here at the open on the indexes. The VIX did gap up. We did gap down, and we've been holding below. So the VIX did gap up. The VIX had a crazy run on Friday, from the lows of 2166-ish all the way up to 2590. So about 10%, 11% or so on the VIX, and then a gap. And so we are way up near the 27s when we had spent the last week below 25, and the week before that even below 2150. So quite the change in the last 2 weeks, really just from the gap down on Monday that then we stayed above the previous week, and then another gap up. So we'll see, does this gap hold on the VIX and the VIX continue to go up, in which case that's bad news for the market, or do we fill the gap and potentially come back down to the low 20s? That'll help us be an indicator, an internal indicator that we use here. And we are open. Let's go ahead and take a quick look on the 5-minute. A little pop to the downside. Let's see what we got here on the 2-minute. See what kind of volume we get here at the open. The internals, we are gap down, so we should open up in negative territory, and we have. and pretty extreme territory. I mean, negative 1900 is pretty extreme. Negative 2400 is extreme on the Nasdaq here. We've got the advanced decline lines here for the ES and the NQ, and then we have the tick charts for the NYSE as well as the Nasdaq. And then I've got the dollar up here on the top right and the VIX again here. So these are the internals that we like to take a look at. Extreme negatives here on the advanced decline. We'll see if the tick charts give us the same reading. They did open up quite negative, but we're going to give that a couple of minutes to see what it does. Again, I did take a loss in the overnight. I traded last night on the gap down. I tried to trade the gap down the previous week, last Sunday, and it missed my fill on the pullback and then went straight to target in the overnight. And I made a play on the same trade today, but did take a loss on it. And so we'll work to make that back. So not great volume here on the first 2 minutes. Like to see that above 15,000. We're at 13, so lower than average volume, I would say, at least on the 2 minute. We'll see. We'll check it out in a few more minutes here on the 5 minute. Get a better reading. So we did pop down here at the open. Starting to push up. If you saw the pre-market, I'm neutral to neutral bearish today. We obviously had a huge rundown on Friday. I don't really have any good levels up here per se because of such a rundown. I do have some somewhat decent demand levels below. If we go ahead and look to the left, we've got some areas of supply and demand, some areas of support and resistance down here that are okay, and that's adding to my neutral bias, neutral to bearish bias. Obviously, I'm going to be a bear after that huge run, and then we gap down and we're holding below. And so, being much more neutral today, I'm going to be playing the ranges before I do any type of breakout. So if we do break out above this overnight high and maybe fill the gap, we're going to first wait and see, do we hold above or do we pull back down and then start holding below? This is my line in the sand, really, this zone here, from the gap, from the close of Friday down to this resistance level in the overnight. If we're holding above, I'll be long. If we false breakout, pull back below, and then start to hang out below here, I will be short. And then kind of the same and opposite is true to the downside. If we do break the overnight low, I'm going to want to see, does it pull back and hold above, in which case I'll look to get long to the top of the range, or do we break down and start to hold below the overnight, showing signs of weakness for me to get short. And really, that's going to be my those are my 4 if-then statements this morning. Another day that we're going to need to be very patient. And let the market give us a bit more of a signal as to what it's thinking. All right, so 5 minute is in. It's actually pretty, I'm going to just call it average, pretty average volume here on the 5 minute. Below, obviously, Friday, which we did have very good volume, especially after Powell spoke, but above the rest of these days. And so I'm just going to call it pretty average volume today. Starting to get a push up through the overnight, or up to the overnight. Take a look over here. NQ's already broken. Russell is at it right now. Dow is certainly the weakest. Dow is at the middle of its overnight range, essentially, not near the highs of the overnight. Although it did nearly fill, it nearly filled the gap in the Dow in the overnight. As did the Russell. ES came pretty close to, in the overnight, the NQ is the weakest one as far as testing the gap, but it has filled it now. All right, all four markets are pulling back right now. I'm going to keep a pretty close eye on this NQ and see if it starts to hold above this overnight, though. Starts to hold above here. Give me a better signal. I don't really trade the NQ. I trade the ES, but this will help me to determine direction. The NQ is holding above. I'd be more bullish. Again, I'm waiting for the ES to also break and hold above, but this will start to give me a an inclination and a direction to start to look for, and trade setups to start to look for. Take a look at the internals here, the advanced decline here on the top left for the ES and the NQ. Right, pushing up pretty hard in the first few candles there, from down around negative 2,000 all the way up to negative 1,500 so far. NQ pulled back to the zero line though and is holding below. So again, we're still going to give this a few more minutes. Not going to be in any rush to get into anything. None of the markets, the NQ is really the only one that's done anything significant. See if the Russell breaks out. We do have the points of control, the naked POCs from Friday, are certainly within range today. Got 12,794 on the NQ, 4063 on the ES, 1899.5 on the Russell. The one that's out of range is the Dow. The Dow's point of control is near the highs of Friday, but the rest of these are either in the middle of Friday's range or below. So certainly within striking distance within the first hour. Not even necessarily within striking distance for the whole day's range, within striking distance in one hourly candle, I would say. Russell's starting to break out. Got about 3 minutes left in this 15-minute. NQ continues to push strong. Gonna want to wait and see where this 15-minute candle closes. Good morning, James. Good morning, everyone. Should hold here for the next leg up on the ES. 4032, 4034. Yeah, agreed. Needs to hold above. And if we do get a rejection, right, we've now filled the gap on the ES. We'll see, do we hold above or below this zone? If we close below, start to push back down. I'll be looking to get short. Much more neutral today than anything. NQ's the only one still holding strong above. Russell's now pulled back quite a bit. No. That was that was last night, actually. I took a trade in the overnight after the gap down. Truth be told, I should have put a limit order. I was a little aggressive because I missed last week's gap and go, and I didn't want to get caught missing this one. Even if I would have taken a limit order and gotten a better fill, though, I would have been stopped out. So I'm not gonna sweat it, but gap down, broke down, pulled back, and when it broke below that candle, I got in, stopped near the high. Risking $300 my regular R. I'd only taken 3 contracts because I had a much bigger stop than usual. It was about 15 points. Sorry, no, it was 20 points. I thought it was larger than 15. It was a 20-point stop, so I was risking $100 per contract, 3 contracts, and took a loss, took an L. No worries. Got a whole week to make it back. A little bit more aggressive than I would have liked to have been because I took it, I had it set up last week. If I scroll back too far. Yeah. This is last Sunday's gap, and it broke down, and then I had a limit order here at the high. Stop above the gap here, and it didn't fill me by like 1 or 2 points, and then see you later. And so I was a little frustrated with that. All right, so we did get that 15-minute candle close. Did close below. Couple of rejection candles on the 5-minute. Now, if we do break above and get a close above there on a 5-minute, that would give me that would want me to look for some longs after getting rejected off of here. I think that's what James was saying. May need to fail back a little bit before breaking long again. But if we make another attempt up here with a rejection off, we are already starting to come down. So we'll see if we get some type of pullback. All right, we've essentially already gotten my push here. Didn't break above, but it filled the gap. We are pulling back down now. And so, do we break back up? Do we just leave without me and break back down? Or do we retest this level and again start to show signs of weakness, in which case I'm going to need to find a way in. So we're going to want to keep an eye on this 5-minute candle. Do we get a close above this overnight? Do we get an even stronger close above this high? Or do we just get rejected off? Hey, good morning, Aaron. Hope everyone had a great weekend. Hope everyone came ready to finish the month off strong. 3 days left in the month. About 40 seconds left in this 5 minute. No strong, well, no real push to break any levels from this 5 minute candle yet. Then we're only going to have 5 minutes left in this first 30. So we're going to want to stay patient now. The NQ is still holding above. The Russell's starting to push up, as is the Dow. The Russell's still holding below the overnight, though. So we are going to stay patient. The NQ is the one that's holding above here. So liking the NQ for the long as well. The VIX and the volatility, that's the 5 minute, 5 minutes left in this 30. VIX is a little bit too high. Volatility is a little bit too high for me to trade the NQ right now. If we take a look at the internals, advanced climb though, steadily climbing, breaking the zero line. See if we hold above the zero line, if we get a close above the zero line here on the tick charts. But a little bit disjointed right now between the advanced climb and the tick charts. Does the tick chart continue to trend upwards here in line with the advanced climbs? Do have the VIX coming down, or it already broke the low. It's in the gap. And the dollar is coming down as well. So all signs for long. We've got long on the VIX, long on the dollar, long on the advanced climbs. New highs here on the tick chart, so showing longs. Certainly be a nice trade here on the NQ. One that if you trade the NQ, need to figure out a way to get in if you're not already in this long, right? Broke out above the overnight, pulled back. See where this, now we're looking at the 30-minute candle, right? Do we get a nice strong close on this 30 above all of this? Got about 3 minutes left here. If it closes strong and bullish, we're going to look to be strong and bullish. If we close below, we start to close in the lower edge of this level that I have marked out there, we will look to go short. No new high in this candle on the NQ like we got on the ES there. 1 minute left. Heck of a pushback down right there. Take a look at these internals. NQ came back and closed right at the overnight. Even broke below that whole range. I don't think I'm gonna get any pullback to get into this trade. I already gave the micro pullback. Got the tick chart right now near the lows though. I'm gonna wait and see what this does on this pullback here before I set my trade. Alright guys, my order is in. Whether it see if we get a pullback into it. Risking 10 points, stop above the pivot. 2 to 1 is my next initial support level. And then the overnights. The overnight low is my 3 to 1 target. Dow's starting to break down. Also, right now is in a pullback to the downside. I wouldn't necessarily say it's starting to break down yet. this breaks down from here and breaks to a new low, may have to take this order off. Dollar's pushing back into its lows. For me to be short, I want the dollar to be going up. So I need this area here to hold.
Order filled.
That's not the type of fill I like to see. That was aggressive. There was aggressive buying there. There's aggressive buying in these tick charts. Why is it not showing my order? Come on. All right, guys, I am in this with 5 contracts. You can see I have an unrealized P&L here, up $37 in this trade right now. But I'm gonna need to restart my computer. It's not showing the active order anywhere. Start journaling this trade. Screenshots. Trade plans, add this trade. Paste the screenshot there. Setup. Want to see this tick chart come back and test these lows. Do not want to see it make a new high. Russell was taking off. New highs on the Russell. It's now leading the market to the upside. And it has that naked POC that I talked about that's really not far. Really not far, and it's attracting it to there. Yeah. That's all right. I accepted the risk when I took this trade, and I'm going to leave it on. And if I get stopped out, we're going to need to reassess because we are obviously going to want to potentially look to the long side. NQ, though, is not pushing. It's really only the Russell. So we'll see. Is the Russell going to lead the market higher? Or was that its false breakout? It's pulling back pretty hard right now, as are the tick charts. Did break to a new high on the tick chart in the last candle. Certainly want to see it come down and test these lows and start to turn these advanced declines back around. I did not like that push, but we'll see if we turn this back around here. The Russell has pulled back quite a bit. I'm going to put a blue line here for my entry. If we get another nice rejection here on the 5-minute and close below the entry, that would be another pretty nice rejection here on this 15-minute. Russell did close to a new high, unfortunately. It is searching for that POC. Very aggressively. It's going to drag the CS up with it. Another strong push on the tick charts. We're going to end up taking a loss here on this trade. It's a new high on the tick Q here. Starting to break out back above there.
Southbound.
All right. Gonna have one trade left that I can take today, and it needs to be a great one. Can't even be good, it has to be great. The NQ hasn't broken its high yet. And the Dow's what's kind of holding everything else back a little bit. So this isn't necessarily going to scream straight up yet. Now the Dow's starting to move up. And that Russell's near the, it's already moved 3/4 of the way towards its naked POC. The ES has one at 40.63. And the NQ has one at 12.794, which is 200 points away. So the Nasdaq isn't as likely, but the ES is less than 20 points away, so it can certainly make it there and be within the daily ATR. Got a minute left in this 5 minute, a little less than a minute left in this 5 minutes. $63, 2-to-1 would need to be 63. I would want to target out before the naked POC. Let's say, see here, it's 61.5.
Order submitted.
Got one order there on a pullback. Stop beyond the actually I have two 5-minute candles there of protection. If we get a pullback to there, I want my 2-to-1 target to be below the naked POC at 40.63. So for me to get 2-to-1 before that, I have to get out at 61.50. This will be my last trade of the day. VIX continues to push down. We're not going to get that pullback. Can I get 1-to-1? I can. And Q's broke out to a new high there as well. See if we get filled on a pullback. And a slight pullback on the tick chart right now, but not enough. Not enough to pull back and fill.
Order submitted.
I've set the breakout there. It fills the breakout first. I'll take the limit order off and vice versa. We'll be going for either a full 1-to-1 trade or a full 2-to-1 trade. I don't think I'm gonna leave any runners on. Got 5 minutes left in this 30 right now. The concern is the dollar stalling out at its lows. If it decides to pop up from there, I'm gonna take the breakout off.
Order canceled.
I'm taking that order off, guys. I don't have the I don't like this trade enough to end -3 on the day. That is not the trade I want to take right now. I'm gonna want to see where this 15-minute closes and really this 30-minute. If it goes without me, it goes without me. But that is not the trade that I'm gonna risk. So we wait. So we wait. About 45 seconds. Any of you guys get into anything? I mean, the NQ and these breakouts up here spent quite a bit of time up here, even though it's only two lame little wicks up here on the 5-minute. Actually spent quite a bit of time right at this level. It just kept closing below. This is why I was not ready to take that trade. These are quite the wicks here on the 15-minute. Quite the rejection candles. That 30 still did not close above the overnight. So we still don't have... Right, we still haven't had a clean breakout here to get for me to get long. We're still just doing, still just hanging out in this zone, in this level. The dollar tested a new low, but no follow through there either. Then my other concern is is the VIX just trying to fill this gap to then turn around and go back up? And no market has had follow through. If the VIX would have, or sorry, if the Russell here would have had some follow through, that may have convinced me to hold on to leave that order on, but nothing leading the way right now for me to say long, for me to have any conviction in a long on the ES. The NQ and the Russell continued to push, then I would say yes, let's go long. But for the moment, we're going to stay patient. Yeah. Quite a bit of choppiness and no follow through. The Russell, I do think, wants to make it to this naked POC that it has, but it's the pullbacks on it are pretty nasty. It's almost a new low on the tick. Yep, that's a new low on both tick charts. New lows here. Oh, yeah, pretty much new lows. New lows for sure on the ES. Basically a new low here on the NQ. Dollar had no follow through to the downside after this move down. Might want to retrace back up. Keep an eye on that. It's a strong push on the 15 minutes to break below. See how it reacts off of this level down here. Right, I'm still in this scenario. False breakout. Doesn't want to, no follow through to the upside. Already took a short, did get stopped out. But we definitely have not had this scenario yet of a nice strong push to the upside. So I do agree with James there. A short back under the open. Advanced declines rolling back over, breaking the 21 EMA. New lows on the tick chart, continues to push down on the tick chart. Dollar pushing up, VIX pushing up. Massive. Yeah, this wants to come down now. Tick chart just continues to push down. No pullback. Continues to push down. Pullback is to negative 600. Not even. Let's set in this order.
Order submitted.
It did not calculate correctly.
Order canceled.
We're going to be going for 2.5 to 1 and 3.5 to 1.
Order submitted.
There we go. Whether or not we get any type of pullback up into there, that's a different question. $43.33 half breakdown. Yeah, we've got 5 minutes left in this 15-minute. I'm not gonna like this last 5 minutes in this 15 though. For it to come back and fill us and close with a huge rejection on the 15-minute candle. Now, the biggest issue with the short that I see right now is the Dow, which has been the weakest all morning. And you would think with this push down on the ES, the Russell, and the NQ that the Dow would be pushing down pretty hard, but it's really just flat. I mean, after no breakout and this move to the upside and these pullbacks on the other charts, you would expect this to be already at the lows of the day. And so we didn't really have much of a leader to the upside, and we don't have much of a leader right now to the downside. What we do have in our favor is the dollar, the VIX, the tick charts. The tick charts gave their pullback, didn't even come close to filling me in. So this might leave without us. Got about 30 seconds left in this 15. '21 EMA there held. The only one where it didn't hold was the Dow. Dow did just close below. Nice pullbacks there on the tick chart. No follow, no actual pullback on the chart. So definitely showing signs of weakness. That 40, 23, 50, you were in it short to there? Or you're waiting for it to break below there to try and get short? The location for me down here is just not good. I'm trying to get in short. I'd like to be short from a bit higher than where price is currently. And I cannot get in on a breakout here in the middle of the curve. I would have no profit potential. So we're going to stay patient. Right, I'm already down 2R. I took a 1R loss in the overnight session last night. Took another loss here. False breakout, false breakout. Got in short. Made another new high, false breakout. Third time was the charm, which is what we're waiting for now. Our indexes are pretty well in sync right now. You're going to take the breakout short? The breakdown? Or are you getting filled on a pullback? No, but you had a sell stop there. So James is in on this breakout. Break it down. I think he originally said his target was around 4,000. I'm already down 2R today, guys, so I need to be much more selective on this last trade. And it's unfortunate because I don't think my read necessarily on my first trade was bad. We were getting rejected off, false breakout. Unfortunately, we got stopped out up here. There's no way I would have ever had my stop far enough though to hold this trade, but basically the timing was off on this trade. 2 more candles. And we'd be doing pretty decently in this trade. Dow's finally starting to break down again, testing, well, getting much closer to its overnight low. The next level that it's already broken a pivot. Its next pivot is the overnight low, so see if it makes it there. All the other 4 markets started to break down a little bit. Not much, though. Definitely showing signs of weakness, though. Advanced decline rolled over. Dollar continues to push up. VIX continues to push up back to 27. Did not even completely fill the gap. Got 5 minutes left in this 30. Something to consider in this trade. 30 seconds in this 30. It's going to be quite the selling candle, wide ranging. But although it did break the opening range low, it's not going to have made any other significant breaks. So we're going to stay patient here. I wasn't already down to where I like the short from this level. Want to keep an eye on what the dollar is doing, though. During this drop, it did have a nice run up, and now it's pulling back. Hence this green candle that we just got. Does the dollar continue to go up, or did it find some supply up there and is going to come back down into the trend of the European session? You still in, James? Take them. Take the 5 points. Not bad. Called your trade, took it, executed. Very nice. Yeah. I'm going to be terribly frustrated when today closes down here somewhere, or freaking down at 39.90 or something. And I took 2 shorts on the day and didn't have the right read, I guess. That's going to be quite frustrating. But I'm going to stay patient. I'm not going to jump into anything. I'm already down 2R. I'm not going to take that chance. Not going to chase. I need to take a trade at a very good location. Very, very good location. This location, a short from here, is just an okay location for my type of trading. James is trading where he's scalping. That's fine for him. But here in the middle of the curve, for me to get short from here with the high up there and the potential of a much deeper uh, pullback. If it was going to be my first trade of the day, yes, I'd be more aggressive trying to get into this short, but at the moment, no. Yeah. Or would you be drawing it from there, let's say? Now, hey, false breakout. Second attempt, breaking it down. I just don't have an entry, but this was my plan. False breakout, holding below, trying to take it back down to these lows and the bottom of the range potentially, or the bottom of this level, but we're in tight enough range and there's enough volatility that I need excellent location. Excellent location. Got about 2 minutes left in this 15. NQ is probably the weakest right now, followed by the ES. So the NQ is sitting below its previous 15-minute candle, where the ES is still holding above. Russell's up in this range, as is the Dow still. But so far, pre-market analysis, I was neutral to neutral bearish. We had a very wide-ranging day on Friday. Could very potentially chop around in a very tight range today. Just haven't been able to find an entry. The right entry. So far, the wrong entries. Yeah, we'll talk a little later about that, James. I was thinking about that a little while ago as well. All right, guys, like I've been saying, I cannot chase from here. I'm going to take, we got this 15-minute candle close neutral inside of the previous candle. See if we get some kind of pullback. I'm going to take myself off the screen for a couple of minutes. I'm going to go use the restroom, grab a glass of water. I'll be right back. mid-morning lull. Like the market's starting to slow down. We're getting strong pushes on the tick chart and rollover of the advanced decline as well. I don't know that I'm going to be leaving this order on. For the moment, I'm even going to move it up. That's a test of the highs on the tick chart. Extreme pushback down. Dollar does look like it's at least starting to slow down on its rollover back down. For me to be short, I need the dollar to be going up. Not going to be getting short just yet. Certainly not on a limit order. Too many internals look like they're more inclined to roll over than just pull back. New 30. Been open for 2 hours now. Certainly a ranging morning as we expected. See what the dollar and the VIX do. Starting to come back down. Did they break those recent pivots that they just created? Yeah, this is going up. Dollar broke that pivot to the downside, so did the VIX, right? If those are coming down, I expect this market to be going up. And so I will definitely not be taking this short at the moment. Not even a little bit. We're just going to move it up for now. We would be filled in there on my original trade setup. That was my original entry here at 40.35 quarter. But too many internals are pointing to longs right now, not shorts. James, do me a favor, take down my email if you're still on. and shoot me an email. I wouldn't mind chatting with you really quickly about the Discord setup. The email is jwstyletrading@gmail.com. jwstyletrading@gmail.com. All right, so we got the false breakout, pulled back. We are back up in this level of the highs. Now we're going to want to see, do we break through? Potentially go higher to the next zone, or do we reject off of there? In which case, I'm going to try and take this short that I had set up, but right now I'm going to need to wait because the VIX is continuing to push down, trying to fill the gap. Dollar's pushing back down after its pullback, so I need those come down and find some demand to reverse back up for me to get short. Or do those just continue to drop, in which case this breaks through the level and we look to get long somehow. All right, so those are going to be my two. Again, I don't want to take this order off, but do we come back up here into this level and now start to show signs of weakness, right, for me to take the short? Or do we break right through? For us to look for a potential long. Because again, we do have a naked POC up here at 40.63, which is where I would want to target out at least my first 2-to-1 target at the 40.63. So I want to be getting in down here below, certainly below 50, but really below like around 45, between let's say 48 and 40, if we do get a pullback, for me to be able to get in. I want to try and get in around 40, 45. And as we've got marked out here, we're getting that rejection back off of this level right now. Gonna see what the internals tell us. Yeah, no, James, just shoot me an email. I have a few questions about your Discord ideas. Oh, did I get it? I'm slow on the uptake today, apparently. I did, but your shit went right to spam. Yeah, kind of fucking weird shit is your email, and that it goes straight to spam. 3 minutes in this 15. Curious to see what this next 5 minute looks like. And I may bring this order back down to try and get into this. Waiting to see a little bit more from the internals. Man, these markets are choppy as hell today, though. I'm not going to take it, guys. I just looked at all 4 indexes, and there's no consensus among anybody anywhere of anything. And so, might get into something a little bit later, but for now, I'm going to take my 2-hour loss on the day because I do not want it to be a 3-hour loss day. I can certainly take one trade tomorrow, make this all back, and be okay. I'm going to, you know what though? I am going to just take a quick screenshot of this trade as a mistrade for my records. So that I can journal it later. But I'm going to clear and cancel.
Order canceled.
And I'm going to call it a morning, guys. I've been on for a little over 2 hours. Took an overnight loss. And then took another loss here in the live session. But not a terrible trade. Nothing that I can... the internals at the time weren't completely in my favor. Hence the deeper pullback to then go short. So obviously my timing was wrong, but I wouldn't necessarily say that my analysis was wrong and my plan on the day, arranging day, false breakouts, right? Just need better execution. Like, I'm a broken record as far as that goes. Better execution, but that's something pretty much even the best traders in the world, I would assume, probably say about themselves as well. So, or about their trading. But not necessarily a day I can complain about anything. So, with that, I'm going to call it a morning. Thank you guys for joining us. I'll have a recap later today, and then again tomorrow, pre-market analysis, 9 a.m. We go live 9:25, trading futures live. We show you our winners, we show you our losers. We try and be as transparent as possible. You guys saw me take a loser live, and catch you guys tomorrow. Take care.